What up, guys? You already know that time of the week. This is Lights Out episode number 19, powered by our amazing friends at Metafy, and we are so happy to have you. If you weren't here for the live show, you probably wouldn't know that Cosmos and Light have just now followed my Twitch channel officially. So I guess we're actually best friends. Hey, we did it.
Yes, we are. We've always been best friends.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even like you.
I'm a leader of the pack.
It's true. Cosmos was first. He's never first to be here in the call, but he was first with the follow. So I'll give him that, which we definitely appreciate. For you guys watching on Spotify or mainly YouTube, actually, it goes a long way. If you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe to the channel as well as drop a like and a comment. That's how we get more in the algorithm, and we would greatly appreciate that. But with that tap dancing out the way, Light, Cosmos, how we doing, boys? Post Gommel.
Feeling pretty good, Phil. It is a new day, a new podcast, and a new season for
what are we,
the
Southern
Smash.
Now? What's going on?
The Smash community, brother.
I love Texas for a reason.
It is a brand new Smash Ultimate season. If something should revitalize you in this game, it should be this. I'd say this season was a pretty weird one because it was the first season to happen after the self-destruction of our two main companies. But, you know, that is in the past, and we are on to bigger things.
MKLeo, because he's not number one anymore.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh, God damn.
Take it easy.
Yeah, man. He lost a leg.
Keeping it real.
Anyways.
I can't be mad at you for that, man.
Yeah, he lost a light. That dude's washed. Anyways, it is a new season, and it's going to be starting off with, I believe you gyms call it a P tier nowadays. Not S plus.
We call it a P tier?
I'm pretty sure it's a P tier.
What the hell is a P tier?
So you know what S
Platinum,
plus is? It's that.
I guess it means platinum, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so it's a P tier. That ain't no Sonic ranking. He goes S.
That's the same level of Elon changing Twitter to X. Dumb.
No, but here we are. We're trying to make it catchier so our community stays alive. You feel me?
There you go.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a P tier event, and there are going to be a lot of representatives from every main country. You know, there's going to be a lot going on. I won't be there, however. We're going to be skipping on the first big event of the season because I will be at DreamCon with Phil networking for our podcast.
That's right, baby. We bought some new tap dancing shoes, and we are going to hopefully put them to good use this weekend. We'll, of course, update you on how this upcoming weekend goes. Before we jump too far ahead, let's recap a little bit of Gommel. That was definitely a really good event. I had a lot of fun. Canada, I finally got to experience Canada proper. In Toronto, y'all don't disappoint. Still not a poutine. First time? Yeah, in Toronto, 100%.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Still not a poutine guy, but I'm definitely a Toronto guy. So that's really all that counts. And, you know, as fun as the tournament was, it was nice exploring the outside as well. Kind of like a cleaner New York, if you will. So definitely good vibes from there. But inside the tournament, we had a lot go down. I mean, MKLeo not making top 8, Sonics capturing the title, Tilde in winners finals. I mean, you couldn't have predicted half of this stuff, but give me your thoughts on exactly what went down on Gommel, boys.
I mean, you couldn't have predicted half the stuff because you couldn't have predicted half the people DQing from the bracket, giving a lot of people way different brackets than they were supposed to have.
Shout out to Shuton.
I thought it was just Shuton.
No, Shuton DQ'd, Onan DQ'd, somebody else DQ'd. I forgot. Somebody else, Jackal DQ'd because he couldn't make it. So there was just like a lot of top C's that were just DQ'd, which changed the bracket more or less. Like, it was still a pretty hard tournament overall, and like people who still made top 8 still had to get at least like one good win to get into top 8 winners or losers. So the top 8 in general was pretty stacked, even though there was like some unfamiliar names. Like, I don't even know what his name is at this point. Midnight. I don't know.
Put some respect on my boy Midnight, man.
Artrius. That Palatino was definitely cooking, though. It was definitely cooking. He beat Meister. Took Tilde to his like last legs. Took a game off Spargo. So there was definitely some talent there. So props to him for that. Other than that, there was a lot of upsets too, like me myself getting upset for one, losing to Yoda Cage early on. Big D losing to Grape early on, causing us to play earlier in losers bracket. I think there was a couple of other upsets too, like I think Riddles lost early on too, but I mean that's kind of expected because he's been playing Street Fighter and stuff. So there's just been a lot going on in this game that is warranting just the kind of inconsistencies in some placements.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Given Riddle still made top 5 at that event, which was, I thought that was pretty impressive. You know, he just
It's
brought it
actually
all the way
cool
back.
because he got 5th in Ultimate and 5th in Street Fighter.
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually very impressive from his part. Like you said, there was a lot of upsets and a lot of things that were just not expected to go that way, a lot of DQs. Still, we got a pretty good top 8 overall. Sonic's being the one to take it. Now, I feel like for some people that might come off as surprising, but I feel like that was honestly long overdue.
Yeah.
You know, Sonic is he's a player who's very capable of beating Spargo and Leo. I think he's probably the #1 choker in our community, if you ask me. He's the person who usually has the most leads and gives it up.
Yep.
Yeah, he took the title from you, Cosmos. Congratulations. Yeah. So to see him actually seal the deal, I think that was pretty cool for him. I mean, DR took it in Street Fighter and Smash this weekend, so that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, DR definitely being a problem. And Sonics too. I know how much he wanted this, especially because people were kind of making a joke like, oh, this grand finals is just like Coin Box in person, which they've fought many a time in grand finals for Coin Box. So I could definitely see that. And sometimes it goes the way of Sonic, sometimes it goes the way of Spargo. Wasn't sure how it was going to shape out. I will say this, definitely has to be an endurance test for Spargo. He did lose to Zamba, so that's why he was in the loser side, but he got his get back with a 3-0 on him in losers. But man, it has got to be strenuous to have to beat Sonics, not in just one set, but two. So, Sonics kind of played to his strengths. I mean, honestly, he won winners finals, I thought pretty convincingly. It was a good effort from Tilde, but when I was commentating, I was like, I never felt like Sonics was in any danger of losing to Tilde, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I mean, it didn't really feel like he was in any danger of losing at all in top 8 in general, because I heard that every set that he played in top 8, he got at least 1 3 stock.
Yeah.
That just shows how well he was playing basically the entire. I think he might have dropped 1 game before top 8 to Goblin, but other than that, he pretty much just steamrolled everybody. Even Leo was struggling very hard against him, which kind of does bother me because at the tournament prior, he did beat Sonics with Corrin, and the Corrin definitely was working pretty well because I think he took 2 sets off Sonics with Corrin, and then he just dropped game 1 with Corrin at this tournament, and it just decided to throw it out the window and go back to Aegis.
It was
I told
weird.
him that too before we played. I told him that I was like, you should have stayed Corrin. He was like, you think so? I'm like, bro, you adapted and beat him pretty hard last time you played. You just should have stayed Corrin because that's your best bet. And he said that he just didn't really feel like he wanted to play patient.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think it might have been Spargo who said the same thing. He was like, yeah, the Corrin is certainly good enough to do it. It just didn't feel like Leo had the patience to do it this tournament. He didn't feel like he wanted to do it. He just wanted to fight. He wanted to interact. Whereas Corrin against Sonic, he kind of had to slow roll a little bit more. And it was just if he wanted to, he could have, but he just didn't feel like it. That's kind of the vibe I got, which is, I guess, why the Aegis
Which is
came
interesting
back out.
because even if you're playing Aegis against Sonic, you still can't really force interactions because at that point, you're still playing a game where it's 50-50. And if you play 50-50s in neutral against Sonic, you're not going to get as much as he can get off of you because he's going to get more damage and he's going to get more edge guard situations where he can basically checkmate you whenever he gets you off stage.
Yeah, I definitely get the mindset though. I mean, Aegis is just a faster character overall, and I think him picking Aegis is just a testament to how he just didn't really feel like taking his time.
It's tough.
It happens to everybody. I know I've definitely been in that position before, versus the Buzz or something, where I'm like, I do not feel like.
Everybody's been in that position against the Buzz.
Yeah, everyone has been there. You're like, bro, the Buzz beat me today. That man was really. I just didn't want to be patient. Speaking of which, the Buzz is actually one of the people who won't be at Smash Factor. I just noticed that. It's kind of surprising considering he goes to everything now.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
Talk about how he was, because he was in Smash Factor Grand Finals last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
look at that.
Did you see his tweet after he had lost? Because it was unfortunate for DeBuzz. He lost, and then I think he had to play Tweak almost immediately in losers.
He'd been
reverse
3-0'd by Tweak.
Yeah, so that sucked for him. But the crazy thing was, after he lost, apparently the whole crowd was cheering for Tweak or something like that. He just turns around to the crowd. He's just no one ever cheers for me. No one ever roots for me. And that prompted a series of tweets where it's just I don't know why I keep coming to these events. I feel so out of place. I don't have the social battery for this. He's he's doing some sort of self-reflecting on the timeline. I wanted to message him the Buzz, you can hang out with us anytime. I was like, well, we get a little wild, maybe, but not be about
I was
that.
gonna
You know
cancel
what I'm
us.
saying? Yeah, it might not be about that. You know what I'm saying? But I felt bad for him, man. I felt bad for him. I mean, that was just like losers bracket was harder than winners after a certain point. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure. There were definitely. I mean, I was in there. Spargo and Leo were all in the losers bracket before top 8 even started. That was honestly insane. Good job to Zamba. Honestly, I'm very interested to see how Zamba is going to do this season because Zamba is somebody who is, in recency, the best player in America. Not total because you have to conclude the whole season. And compared to me and Tweak's overall results are more consistent, and our variation of bad placements is like getting 9th place, or getting 7th place. And we had like very good highs this tournament. Tweak, I think, being the one who won Let's Make Big Moves, I'm pretty sure. And I won Level Up Expo over Tweak. So like we had really good, strong starts, and it just kept going, and worst placements being around like 9th. Zamba, on the other hand, having pretty weak starts at the beginning of the season, but finishing off pretty strong, getting a major win at Crown, getting wins on Akola, I'm pretty sure, this season. He's playing really well. He beat Sonics the last tournament, and he still got 5th place, beating Spargo, or 4th place this tournament. So, I mean, if he starts off this strong in this next season, who knows how it's going to be. I think we were in a weird spot where me and Tweak were easily top 2 in America.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like light Tweak, and then it's like, okay, well, those are the only people who are really competing with the out-of-country people on a consistent basis. But now I think Zamba is an easy top 3 for America, which I'm really happy about because we were really weak. But I think the light Tweak Zamba is what we're looking at for top 3 in America.
You just called me weak. That's OD.
I mean, it's not all about you, bro.
It's all about you.
No, it's not. I'm talking about Zamba.
Well, I'm looking at these results, and I mean, I'd probably put Zamba first right now, to be honest.
Yeah, no, he would be first. But the thing is, the season's ending, and his beginning was
pizza,
terrible.
right?
Yeah.
That's a really big
Zamba doesn't even think he's in the top 10.
Of what, NA?
Like
No,
the season?
the season. He doesn't even think he's in the top 10.
He might not be, honestly. I don't know.
Because he said that his season. Honestly, people think Zamba's like the type of person to just like complain and stuff. But if you just talk to him in person, he's actually so much like the tweets are definitely just like his like, him being a kid. So like he just lets it out. But like when you talk to him when he's composed, he's actually really smart, and he's very analytical about this stuff. Like he knows. He's like, I don't think I'm top 10. Like my start was bad. Like I know I'm doing really good right now, but it's just I'm gonna have to do it more next season because
Zamba's hilarious. When he lost to I think Sonics.
Zamba.
When he lost to Sonics, because I was sitting next to like you and Spargo and B, and he walked over and started talking to Tilda, and the first thing he said, he's like, that character is so toxic or something like that. And Sonic's like walked past him and just was smiling. And I was like, oh my God, these two are insane. It was so funny. He started going this red Sonic just walked past him just smirking. I was like, y'all are OD.
That's actually really funny.
These kids got beef. I love it.
Yeah, Gama was a good event going on. There was a bit of controversy going on at this event in some weird ways. Phil, would you like to pick one or the other to talk about?
I'd love to. So we talked about how there were like several upsets at this particular Gama. One of them being
Twitter.
Big. Yeah, well, Twitter's always in a frenzy. But aside from that, a Big Duck Hunt fan, I believe, is the tag. Big Duck Hunt fan. Now you would think Big Duck Hunt fan. You would think that her upset over Tweak would be the highlight of their experience at Gama, but apparently no, because we got a racist among us. Apparently, Old Orange, Link player, Ontario, Canada, not too far of them over there, not too far of them is over there. A little too dark, a little too happy, a little too different. Not a fan of that. Get him out of here.
Why are we all Southern now? Like, what's going on? I'm trying to figure this out.
Okay. Real talk. So something. This is like the most random tweet I've ever seen in my life. So Big Duck Hunt fan loses to Orange, and then proclaims on Twitter, "Damn, I just lost to a white supremacist." So naturally, this actually starts making its rounds on Twitter, and you go through and you kind of start reading some of the tweets from this person. And I don't know about everybody else, but me and some other people just kind of started piecing together, well, these are like religious tweets. These aren't like, hateful tweets. I mean, there was a couple maybe outlandish tweets that you could say were a little like question marky, but overall, like I'd say it was clear like this is just somebody who's religious and that's their beliefs and they're just sharing it on the Twitter space. You know what I'm saying? Some of them got misconstrued. Apparently, you know, the pure, turning everyone white or something got, construed it into some, some sort of crazy that just should not have been taken that way, because they're actually referring to like how white is a purifying color. Okay. Just so we're all clear about that. Okay. Sorry, I had to stress a little bit. So that's
Southerners.
They're getting it from a verse. They were getting it from a verse. So I thought definitely it was misconstrued. Now, credits to Big Duck Hunt fan, because aside from having a phenomenal placement and performance, at Gommel was nice enough to take back those comments and say, hey, maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. Orange isn't a white supremacist. A lot of people from their region as well kind of coming to the defense as well. So it did blow up, though. I shudder to think what that Twitch chat looked like when Orange was playing. I just know every black person I saw in the venue was rooting for Tilde.
Bro, the rumors that started when everyone thought he was actually a white supremacist was so bad.
That shit was
I
bad.
go, I was guilty. I was guilty of it, bro. Cause I don't go on Twitter. I don't look at this stuff. So you hear it and you're like, what the heck? I was like, Tilde, don't lose to a white supremacist.
You have to win for us.
I was like, bro, if you lose, you're getting double eliminated off this loss. Bro, that I don't know how that even happens, how you assume that or like bold enough to tweet that with like no like assurance, but oh my god, what a wild weekend, honestly.
I mean, that's just kind of how the community is. They don't even care like if things are true or not. They'll just tweet anything just for anything, whenever, especially after somebody loses. Literally, that happened to me last week. People just tweet anything just to tweet anything. And especially after they lose, people are in their fields, and then they definitely want some kind of interaction point, and they just tweet whatever they can get interactions from. So.
Oh, Big Duck Hunt fan. She's actually in the chat right now. Now, listen, we wasn't going to let your ass off, okay? We was going to talk about this. Now, granted, it was hilarious. I see things from a different lens. I can see things as very entertaining. But I must say, that was a bold strategy to tweet that out.
Strategy. And I definitely won't say that I have not been in that position before in my past year. Like, honestly, I've never said something like that outlandish. I'm not gonna cap. That was pretty outlandish. I've never said something at that outlandish. But I've definitely been in a situation, where I've lost to somebody, gone through their Twitter, and I'm being like, I lost to this person, and I just think about making something like everything inside me just starts manifesting, and like something has to be coming out onto Twitter just to
hold on,
contain my salt.
She dropped some evidence. She dropped some information. She said, this is why the live episode is always so clutch for you guys who get to view it. Some stuff was given to TOs that's actually like tangible evidence. So it's out of my hands now. Sounds like we might have a topic to revisit at a later time, which does always get
Make sure you tune in to the next Lights Out episode next week.
That's why you gotta subscribe.
This is a lot of monkeying around, bro. And I ain't talking about me.
Oh my goodness. Is it time?
Is it time?
Is it time?
Is it time?
I tried to get him on this episode. I tried to get light suit up, okay? I tried to get him on this episode, but Zenodo was busy. However, as you all know, there was some other incident that took place that I personally thought was hilarious, okay?
It was so funny.
Hey, look. Come here. Come here. Let me show you guys my personal little Diddy Kong right here. All right, look. So, as you all know, Kels, my girl, Supergirl Kels, one of Canada's finest. She was jamming it on commentary. I mean, she was doing a sensational job. Got a little overzealous though when Zenodo was on the screen, and he kind of made a face that apparently to her resembled Diddy Kong. The same expression.
Which, by the way, was his regular face.
Now, to be completely fair, Kels did not mean for this to have any racial implications. We love Kels. She's a great person. I talked to her afterwards. She was heartbroken. She was legitimately crying and shaking and felt so bad because she didn't realize. I think she might have maybe it's something that she'd like known subconsciously, or not subconsciously. Maybe it's something that she had known like in passing before, like heard, but it's not something that she would like store in her memory bank. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna equate black people to monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the kind of girl that she is. And I can testify to her character. She's an amazing person. But obviously, Twitter got a hold of it. The jokester mob went ham. I thought it was hilarious. You know what I mean?
Were genuinely mad.
People were actually upset, but I'm not the black guy who gets offended by everything. I don't want to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't want to be victimized by every little comment and stuff. Some people are like that. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? So I have people like, oh, look at Uncle Tom eat. I'll tell you what, man, Uncle Tom is tap dancing and getting paid. All right, whatever. Y'all can stay mad on Twitter. But the whole thing I thought was rather entertaining. I thought her co-caster Fabs handled it really well too. Just like kind of was, that's a wild thing to say, and then just kept the conversation going. Didn't let it get weird. You know what I'm saying? So that's not really like a serious thing. More so just hilarious. What did you guys think as fellow blacks?
I don't know. I don't know if Twitter considers me black anymore. They might have revoked my card.
Oh, true. Monkey man.
Monkey. Okay. So for one, I think it's really important to realize that you twisted on Twitter. I don't think you guys see that not everyone thinks the way you guys do. I think that's the huge misconception of Twitter. Everyone assumes that everyone thinks the same.
Yeah.
And Kels is genuinely just a person. She talked to me, and she was thanking me after like I defended her on Twitter, and she was like, "You were getting so much hate and all that." And I'm like, I don't really care if I get hate. I care more if people who are like sensitive to that stuff get hate, because she doesn't deserve that stuff.
Facts.
It's not something she deserves. She doesn't think how most of these people think. She doesn't just think in a very explicit way. She's just trying to cash. She's just trying to have a good time. So like when that happened, that's why it really caught her off guard. Because she's, again, some people just don't think like, I want to be racist, I want to hurt people, or I'm gonna say this on the mic. So I'm happy that it settled down. She definitely didn't deserve any of the hate she got. And I'm tired of people trying to hate for others, because the only ones who were directly involved in that would be Fabs and Zenodo. And neither of them cared. So Twitter, get off her dick.
Yeah, I also really appreciate what Zenodo said. Like, as he didn't even realize that it happened until like later on. He made a whole tweet thread about like how like he's been friends with Kels for like a really long time, and he knows that she didn't mean any like malicious intent, and it was just like something that just happened in the spur of the moment. But that's the thing that I really don't like about Twitter, that I feel like I kind of just say every single podcast, that I really hate Twitter, because I really do hate it that much. Just Twitter, like, basically they want the victim to feel what, like, they want, how do I explain it? They want the victim to feel what they are feeling. Like, they are like, hey, this happened to you, so you have to feel bad about this.
Zenodo's not a victim. He didn't give a fuck.
I know, exactly. It's like,
victim.
It's not even a victim, and it's like, hey, you need to claim that you're a victim, because in this situation you're a victim. So you're the victim, and you have to feel bad about this because you're the victim in this situation. Like, first of all, there's no victim. There's no victim.
It's so easy to be a victim, quote unquote, on Twitter.
For real, it really is. Like, anybody can, like, obviously, like, there's definitely situations where people are definitely victims. All right, yeah. I'm not undermining that. The fact that there are things that definitely happen that are up, and people need to take accountability for stuff like that. And people are definitely victims of things that happen like that. But you can't just be throwing around the word victim for every little thing that happens in the community anywhere, because everybody would be a victim at that point.
I thought
not. What you say?
I thought we were all victims.
Well, shit, maybe we are. Maybe we are now. So that's why I really did appreciate Zenodo for what he said, because he basically like made sure that he believed or spoke for himself, and that the community was not speaking for him, and was like, hey, Kels is also not racist. Like, I've been very close friends with her for a very long time. I know she didn't mean anything by it. Y'all need to calm the down. So I definitely really appreciated him for that.
100%.
I think it's worth noting, obviously, what she said should never be said on a mic, even though it's not what she meant. Obviously, don't say it again, Kels,
Yeah.
Right?
It's just a society, like knowing the society and how people will take things. And, if you were upset or offended by it, like, again, all we can do is assure you that there was no malicious intent behind like that comment that she made. She's just literally a Smash fan and having fun. So we love you, Kels. Wanted to defend that. to kind of shift back real quick because again we still
Nah,
No?
you're not off the hook. I saw that comment you made in grand finals of Gobble. Did you see that, Cosmos?
I did see that.
Yeah,
After
you
the
want to talk
tournament
about that?
was over.
What was Cal's jumping like?
Listen, you gotta understand something about me. When I get on that mic, I got no friends, okay? I got no friends. I'm there to make stars. I'm there to make moments, okay? And that's what I do better than anybody.
You also just don't exist because apparently you're just uncancelable at this point.
I haven't done anything to be canceled. What do you mean? I'm just a jokester.
The same thing.
I'm just a
jokester. To be canceled, put the suit on.
I'm thinking about it. Bring it to DreamCon.
I got you.
So that comment was just to put a little lighthearted spin on everything that had transpired. And I actually talked to her afterwards. She thought it was very funny. And again, thank you for being supportive. And it's just, that's my homegirl, bro. I'm always back hell. It's my homegirl. So had to put that out there. To kind of tie a bow on all this heavy potential racism or whatever that we've been discussing.
White supremacy.
Yeah, white supremacy, whatever you want to call it. Duck Hunt did say again in the chat that apparently there was an incident, Orange was involved, that people are going to be like maybe investigating more. I don't know, something. I don't want to talk too much about it because again, these are young kids. I don't want to like be throwing accusations or spreading that kind of stuff, but there will apparently be more things discussed in the coming, I guess, days. That was, Duck Hunt says, I take back the statements about racism, but maybe some trans or homophobia might be amiss. We'll find out, but I don't want to dive too much deep into that.
If y'all want to find out, make sure y'all tune into the next episode.
Okay, I was gonna
find out. If you want to find out, hit your ass on Twitter because
there
I
you
don't
go.
involve myself with that unless there's some confirmed.
Yeah, we gotta
get here to talk about he said, she said.
That's true, man. You know what? But I'll tell you what. All this talking, boy. I tell you, all this talking gets me hungry. It get me hungry, boys. It gets me hungry. And I'm sure if you're watching this too, you might have a little bit of an appetite, okay? And that's why I want to talk to you today about this podcast sponsor, our friends at Factor. Now, you already know, chat, it's hot as hell outside. We are in the thick of summer. You might be looking for some wholesome, convenient meals to support your sunny, active days. Don't let them believe gamers are lazy. That ain't you. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious, ready-to-go meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track of reaching what? Your goals, because we all got goals. And let me tell you something, here on Lights Out, we like to hit those goals. Now, if you're like me, you might need an extra boost of support for your wellness this summer. And then, if that's the case, you should try their Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. That's OD. Get buff, get yoked. I'm saying, bro. I ain't lying to you. They offer delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of your lifestyles. From those of you who love the keto lifestyle, go ahead and check out their keto to calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and protein plus options. These are prepared by chefs that are approved by dietitians. That means they went to school, you bunch of gyms. That means they know what the hell they're talking about.
I didn't even do that.
Exactly. Each meal has all the ingredients you'll need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals. And if you're looking to mix it up, you can add protein and select vegan, veggie meals each week. You can just stay healthy and good. This July, my friends, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals, enjoy fresh and flavor-packed meals delivered to your doors, as I said, ready in just 2 minutes with no prep and no mess. So easy a Smash player could do it. So make sure you head over to factormeals.com/lightsout50 and use the code lightsout50 to get 50% off of your orders. That's code lightsout50 at factormeals.com.
Crazy, not 30, not 20, but 50%. You don't often get 50% off on food, brother.
Yes, sir. And I've actually, unironically, I've had Factor before and I've tried it and it's actually legit. Like the food actually tastes really good and I was pretty surprised. So make sure y'all check it out. And I'm pretty sure there will definitely be at least, because they have a bunch of different meals, there will definitely be at least one meal that you guys will like.
There you go. Love that. Y'all got to peep that out, man. Exclamation point factor in the chat for that link directly to you. And of course, my YouTube viewers, you already know in the description, we'll have that panned out for you too. So thanks a lot for sponsoring this podcast. Feels good, guys. Feels real good that our podcast is getting some recognition. People are trusting us to take on these tasks and distribute it to the masses. I like it.
Yeah, and it's actually been really good for us so far. Honestly, what episode is this? Are we on episode
19?
19? Yeah, 19. Damn. Yeah, man, we are coming in hot. Like I said, new us, new season, new everything. I like to close it out by saying Gommel overall was just a fantastic event.
Loved it.
I loved Gommel. It was a really good time. I've never been to the other ones before. Toronto was a nice area. There was plenty to do. I didn't gain any weight. The food was really good. The tournament was really good. It's just a good time, man.
JBBQ Bistro when that hit my tongue.
So good. I am definitely going next year, and I also will be going to their Toronto event that they announced next year.
Right, get on my level, Toronto. I mean, that's something we got to highlight too. My boys over at Luminosity teaming up with the squad at Gommel, as well as the TOs behind Let's Make Big Moves, rebranding a little bit to Luminosity Makes Big Moves. Or Luminosity Makes Moves. I got to talk to somebody about that name. We're going to have to fix that up a little bit. We're going to have to tighten that up, boy. We're going to have to tighten that up, fellas. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But obviously some really great events coming in the future, and I'm excited. Can't wait for Miami. That's going to be awesome. But that is a little ways away. You know it's not too far away, though? You know it's not too far away that we got some preliminary seating out for? Yeah. Smash Factor. It's coming.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying. So intimate.
Yeah.
Listen. That's the Z snap, okay? Don't give me the lip.
My man heard about Zoe 102 and now he acting different.
Listen, I'm getting a little spicy, all right?
Oh my god.
But when you look at the preliminary seating for Smash Factor, give me your thoughts. What are we thinking, boys?
Oh man, I think I say this a lot. It's just because I have faith. I think Leo takes it.
Dude, Leo is seated third.
Yep.
I think that might actually be a little high.
I just impulsively laughed.
Yeah, you impulsively laughed. Honestly, Cosmos' reaction at disrespect from this top 46 player. Honestly, this reaction is all the reactions that you gyms have been having on my boy MKLeo. And I'm telling you, bro, you keep clowning on him. You keep clowning on him.
He was going to win Gommel, and I said he was going to lose to Sonics, and I was right.
Okay, but you guys keep clowning on him, bro. He's not washed because he doesn't get first all the time. But let me tell you what, he's going to get first at this event. I am calling it, bro. You guys keep playing with him, and he's going to step to the plate, man. That is how that works.
I don't think... The main reason why I don't think he'll get first is, first of all...
Because you're a gym.
First of all, thinking about seeding, you have to think about like the bracket that he's probably potentially going to have.
Weak.
He's third seed. First of all, he's going to have to play Zomba first. Zomba's going to make him struggle. And then he's going to have to play Tweak after that. Tweak is going to make him struggle. And then after that, he's going to have to play Sonics or Spargo.
And
Spargo
that is why MKLeo's run is about to be one of the best winners runs of his life. Because all the odds are stacked against him and he's going to take it.
I think you want him to win so bad so that your win over him at Gommel is even harder. That's what I think.
I don't know. It just sounds like he got something.
No, that's actually not. That's actually not how it works.
Oh, it's not.
Gommel was last season. This is a new season, so that's not how that works at all.
I'm just talking about bragging rights, brother. I'm not talking about rankings.
Why does that matter? I got like 8-1 on Sonics. I got a winning record on Zomba. Me and Tweak are like even, and then Spargo's the only one. That don't matter to me. All these gyms.
All right.
Actually, matter of fact,
all these gyms, including Leo.
Nah, bro. Yo, why does no one have faith in my boy lately, bro? What is going on?
16 with shiny mark.
I hate his character choices. He can't pick the right character.
And that's what's wrong with Cosmos and the rest of this community. You're basing Leo off his character. What about him as a player? Do you not like him as a player? I believe in the GOAT.
You know that I've always believed in Leo as a GOAT.
You believe in Leo if you would believe in Leo if he was JP Leo.
Okay, you got to move a little bit.
You making love to that mic light back up?
If he was JP Leo, you would believe in him, bro. But he ain't Japanese. Japanese. He's Mexican.
I was the biggest Leo believer for the longest time, to the point where you were actually telling me
it must have been
Leo like I was sucking him off or something. So,
it must have been so easy. It must have been so easy to believe in Leo when he was already number 1.
I believed in Leo whenever he was basically losing the entirety of the last season. I was still believing whenever he picks it up and picks Joker, he's gonna start taxing everybody's ass. And then he started picking Joker, and he still got his ass taxed. All right. I'm not a believer anymore. You know who I believe in? Cola, because he's the smartest player, because he's picking Steve. You know who else I believe in? Spargo, because he knows when he needs to play Cloud and when he needs to play Pirate Mithra. And you know what? Leo doesn't know when he needs to play Pirate Mithra, because he doesn't need to play Pirate Mithra. He needs to play Corn against Sonics. He needs to play Joker against specific people. Why did he go Pirate Mithra against Spargo for the first 2 games when he knew that Joker was gonna win? He went Joker and reversed. Why did he go Joker game 1?
Okay, so guys, let's point out something. Let's point out something real quick. Spargo, he said he believed in Spargo because he's number 1, just like he did with Leo. I'm not done.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Close your lips. Close your lips.
No. That's not what I said. I said I believe in Spargo because he makes the right character choices.
Nah. And of course, that's what I was gonna go right back to. Who is he supporting? JP. Because he just supports Japan over everyone.
So now you're just not making no sense.
No, it's true. Since when have you not been Japan biased? You've always been Japan biased.
I've always been for MKLeo.
When he was number 1.
No.
You don't believe in him now. You don't believe in him now. You don't believe in him now.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Leo's not gonna win this tournament. I'm just gonna tell you.
You're not gonna win either.
My core is cooking.
I'm just saying, bro. I believe in Spargo too. Spargo's my son, of course. But I'm always interested in Leo doing good because I think it makes good for the storyline. And I think Leo's gonna win.
I think.
Okay, I like that.
First of all, if I don't win, because I feel I'm pretty good this tournament. But if I don't win, I think Sonics gets the double.
You think Sonics goes back to back? Wow.
I think Sonics gets the double.
It's possible.
I think him winning Gommel is like a big mental stride for him to finally win a super major offline. I feel like he just kind of full sends it and just becomes like one of the really strong players and understands that whenever he is in that zone, if he just gets into that zone, no one can really touch him. And it's really easy to get into that zone with Sonic because Sonic.
I wouldn't say no one. I wouldn't say no one can touch him. Calm down there.
Oh yeah, you're like 8-0. You're like 8-0 on him. 8-1.
At Momocon too.
Yeah, he had me stressed at Momocon, bro. Good for him. It was my second tournament back, and then I stopped playing again right after I beat him.
And guess what? That'll always happen. You'll always be at your second tournament back after a while.
Yes, sir. Nah, I've actually been playing a lot lately outside that. I've actually just been playing at home a lot. I'm feeling pretty good for these upcoming events. I'm not really worried at all. That was the best part about Gommel. I had no stress on my mind. I'm actually pretty confident this is going to be a strong season for me.
Listen, I have a different take on who I think is actually going to win the tournament. I don't think
could be Tweak.
I don't. All right. Well, thanks.
Are you gonna say Gluto?
I was gonna say Tweak, but this guy just won't stop talking.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think Tweak wins this tournament. I actually really like what I saw out of him in some friendlies against some of these players. I know it's friendlies or whatever, but it's still Tweak as well. If he didn't choke away that game 2 or game 3 against Riddles, I think he would have went even further in the bracket. I think he actually makes it potentially to losers finals and then maybe even grands. So I like Tweak's odds coming into this a lot. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna say Tweak for this one. You know what I'm saying? I'd love a Leo win as well. Love a Spargo win. Those are the homies. Sonic's never mad when he wins either, but I'm feeling something for Tweak this weekend. I'm
pretty interested.
And I don't see any duck hunts. I don't see any duck hunts seated in this top 64.
Damn.
My only problem with Tweak is that I feel like he has been low-key suffering from the same thing I was suffering from, which is just purely lack of motivation. I actually peeped into literally 10 minutes of his podcast where he said he lost at Gommel and he wasn't like as pressed as he usually is about it, and he's like worried, like he doesn't know if it was just because he took it better or because of lack of motivation. And that's exactly how I felt at a lot of these tournaments, where it's like I would lose and I'm just like, man, whatever, like it's like I don't feel good, but I don't really feel as bad as I usually would, which it's something you have to fix. It's kind of hard to stay hungry. So I don't think he's been playing him at home as much because of lack of motivation. He's also been having hand problems. So I don't know. And I would love to see him hungry again. I would love to see everybody hungry again now that it's a new season. I am going to say wholeheartedly that I think last season was one of the worst seasons of all of Ultimate. And I think a lot of people weren't hungry. A lot of new people were, but I think a lot of the top players weren't as hungry as they usually are. And I just want to see people grow from that, including myself. I'm trying to get hungrier. I'm trying to play more at home. I'm going to be playing today. Going to be playing tomorrow, So hopefully I see that in everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely kind of hard, like, especially because we see people like Leo clearly not look as hungry as he was before. But then we also see people who are very, very hungry, like Spargo. Clearly, he's like probably one of the most hungry people in the entire community. But like, I feel like having like one of the biggest pillars of Smash be Leo and see him not as hungry anymore, it definitely can like feed into the other players' mentalities too, and like how they feel about the game. Especially because like obviously like number one ranking, the number one player on the ranking this season is going to be a Steve player, so that's going to be a big hit to people's mindsets.
I think
there's going to be a lot of DLC too on the ranking, and there's just like the fact that like we lost all our circuits and everything, and not only that, seeing that we lost our circuits and like there wasn't really too much to be looking forward to in future tournaments, and not only that, there's another game that just came out that has a big circuit, like a lot of things going on with Street Fighter. So like seeing that game has what we were about to have is a little bit also disheartening, because we don't know if we're ever going to have that like in the future as well. So like
no clue.
Being in just like, there's a lot of factors that go into it that will definitely making a lot of people lose motivation, including myself as well. But like I said in the past before, the younger people usually are hungrier, but the older you get, it's just natural for you to lose the motivation for a lot of things, and you kind of have to turn that motivation into discipline, because you're not always gonna have the motivation to do whatever you want to have to do.
Bro, Leo literally owns like 2 or 3 businesses in Mexico now. Like, he has used this money that he has accumulated over these years of just beating everybody's ass, and he's just like, I got a girl, I got businesses, I'm good. Like, Leo is literally just sitting pretty, bro. Y'all don't know. See, y'all don't understand about Leo. Leo is in his mogul phase. You know what I'm saying? He did the player. You know what I'm saying? He did the dominate. Now he's on his mogul.
Him and Zachary both. They're both chilling. They're just playing the game for fun at this point. Zachary's playing pit, bro. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
He's still getting good results.
Yep. Because when he do, it just makes his business even that much bigger, because he's doing it with a mid-tier character.
There you go. If you want more about,
his name is still Zachary.
If you want more about Leo's business, I'm gonna give Leo a free plug, bro. Check out his podcast. He's got Cooking Up with Luminosity and Metafy coming soon. All right, free plug for you, Jim. All right.
Moving on to something.
Jim now.
Moving on to something Japan related. I actually want to bring on a good point about something. So people are pretty confirmed that Akola is going to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gets first place a lot in the tournaments that he goes to, which, let's be honest, the tournaments he goes to are usually just in Japan. He goes to a few in America, obviously, or a few out of Japan. He does do good out of Japan, obviously, but it is a big point. Now, I've been hearing a lot of complaints for people saying that these guys have majors very often now, like every 2 or 3 weeks they just have an event where they're all there. And they're doing they're getting a lot of good results, beating around the same people, And given again their talent is good, but that's not really the issue here. It's just a lot of the events happening with the same people, and Akola and Mia and a few others. They farm that and they get results because they're all high ranked now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we've been in a bit of a drought with our events, we're gonna be picking up right now.
Really been in a drought, honestly, because we had Let's Make Big Moves in Genesis the beginning of in January, and then we had Level Up Expo in February. We had Collision in March, and then April we definitely had a drought. But
think
in May we had like some good.
You said we had
going
what
on,
in
too.
February?
In February we had Level Up Expo.
Now, no disrespect to Level Up Expo. I think it's an event that everyone should definitely go to next year. It was really well ran. But
gonna
I
be
do
incredible.
think events like Level Up Expo are also just a result of us losing events and having some of us go to it, because that event had Tweak. It had like as term as like top 10. I think it had Tweak, me, and Sonics. You know,
Right.
these are not events that are having like everyone show up.
Yeah.
you know?
Right, but like what I'm saying is like whenever like everybody shows up in Japan, it's not like everybody shows up. There's just like a lot of top hitters show up that'll like kind of be like the way I kind of see it, it's still kind of compared to the US, because in the past I felt like the US always had just bigger events more often than Japan. Now I feel like it's more compared to how Japan is, because there's not always so many tournaments going on, but whenever there are tournaments going on, there's just like a good amount of big names that are maybe not every big name is going, but there's a good amount of big names that are going, which I feel like is what happens in Japan too, because in May we had a lot of big events going on, some of them on the same weekend too, but we also we had Battle of BC
Ultimately
that
hinders
weekend.
us.
Yes, that also hinders us too.
Yeah.
True. But that also happens in Japan as well, because they have two events on the same weekend. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday, because they only do 1 day events usually. And they have one event in Hokkaido, which is like the top side of Japan, and then the other event in Fukuoka, which is the bottom side of Japan. And you know that T is not going to fly from the top side of Japan to the bottom side of Japan. Yes, exactly. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing, which is why I still think Spargo should be the best player in the world, but I don't think that is one of the best reasons to justify why Akola is like not justified to be the best player in the world or to rank number 1.
So what do you think would be the reason for him to not be number 1 in the world?
Because Spargo has the biggest set count leading against Akola.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like their like results are a little like Akola's results are a little better than Spargo's, but Spargo does have bigger wins, which I feel like would cancel it out. And I feel like everything does like kind of balance out until you basically go to the head-to-head, which is heavily skewed in Spargo's favor, which I feel like should be seriously taken into account, because if both players are winning really big events and are contesting for number 1, you have to heavily take into account how they place against each other, especially if they're placing against each other at the big tournaments.
I just think it's more impressive because Spargo fights the world more than Akola does. I think that's a feat that people don't really talk about.
That is true. He is more rounded in that category. But the way I look at it at the end of the day is like, even if it's Akola 1, Spargo 2, like you just kind of look at it as like almost like a system of checks and balances. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the way I equate it to making some sense. So eager to see what the official rankings will say. I think it'll be actually like a really good talking point when we eventually do get to it. Last thing I wanted to talk about though, are any of you guys going to Evo?
No.
Okay, because Project L announced that they're having an official playable demo there, and I think everybody should invest time into Project L, whether you're a player, caster, content creator. That game is going to be huge. You see what Riot, this kind of success they had launching another new title a couple years ago in Valorant. Imagine what they can do with an FGC type game. Lord help us if we ever get a platformer from them, you know what I'm saying? So I think Project L is going to be insane, and I personally want to be there, get some gameplay, and maybe like be able to share it as well.
Yeah, I wish I was there for that. That definitely, I didn't even know that was happening, because one of the main reasons why I really wanted to play Street Fighter, because I knew that obviously Street Fighter is going to be a very big game, and like it's going to have a lot of money in that game. I know that the Riot Fighter is definitely going to have at least a good amount of money into it too. I'm not sure how much they're going to invest into it, because they're also doing a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of money into it. But I wanted to play Street Fighter because I wanted it to basically prepare me to be ready to play Project L, because I know that the fundamentals are just going to transfer over.
I feel like Guilty Gear would be a closer 1-for-1, to be honest with you.
It would, but like just Street Fighter just helps you understand fighting game fundamentals in there. Like
absolutely,
Guilty Gear is a fighting game. It's an anime fighter, so it's a little bit different. But Street Fighter will just teach you the fundamentals of pretty much any fighter. And like I played Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I'm pretty sure it'll still be pretty similar in some way, shape, or form.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think it's gonna be great. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. But great podcast today for sure. Covered so many good, compelling topics. And before we get out of here, I've got to give a shout out to our man Zap. Actually, Zap won the Lights Out tournament that happened yesterday. That was an awesome tournament. We had over 60 people actually sign up for the event, so that was a lot of fun. Zap winning that over Chris. Chris got second place. He was a Steve player, but Zap is like a prodigy Bowser Jr. player, and he didn't disappoint, man. Some shenanigans in grand finals, but we definitely appreciated that and everybody who showed up. And hopefully Metafy will allow us to have some more tournaments, because I thought it was actually a lot of fun. I know people are like, oh, so you did the coin box thing. Actually, it was called the Nig box, but just for the record, that was just a placeholder name. Well, if it becomes an official series, we'll get something a little bit more
it was the cosmic
family friendly. Yeah. It was a hot mess, but shout out to Zap for winning that. That was awesome. And if you're curious about more of an in-depth look at the boys bracket run through Gommel, check out that on our Metafy exclusive episode that we recorded yesterday. They go through their whole bracket. Some things we didn't get to cover on this one, and it's actually got a lot of good depth and exploration. So exclamation point Metafy in the chat if you're watching live, and of course it'll be in the description of the YouTube video. But fellas, with that, let's get the hell out of here. Dun dun.
Light.
No, so I did like the last 3 times.
All right, Cosmos, me and you.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Pokemon Rock. Yeah, that was so obvious.
All right, I win. Well, another rousing episode of Lights Out. Now, this is why I make you guys, this is why I save announcements towards the end to make sure you because are watching, okay? And you need to be subscribed on YouTube too if you haven't already, because we need that. It helps a lot. But a lot of you saw the teaser that we posted at Get On My Level with Cola. That's right. He's coming. Next week, Lights Out, episode 20. The big 2-0. Cola joins the podcast. We'll see you there.
Niggas out.
Peace.